My brothers and sisters, if you want all of Christ, then you need to give him all of you. You want his joy, you want his peace, you want to truly know who he is, you have to give him all of yourself. I'm here to tell you, I was in the military, I retired from the military, and while I was in the military, you know, it's about getting ahead, being your best, and, you know, I felt like I was able to do all of those things. And I wanted to do things my way, live my life my way. I had fun, I had friends, somebody always wanted to go out with me, and I thought I had it going on. And my brothers and sisters, I'm letting you know that there were times even when I'd go out and party with my friends, and I'd come home and just cry because I would just feel this emptiness and this darkness inside of me. You know, emptiness, just a sadness. I've just been out. What's wrong? I've just been out, you know, partying and, you know, bottles up and turning up with my friends, but yet I get by myself, and I was sad and I was alone. And I remember times I'll just call my mom or I'll call my dad, and as soon as they answer, all I could do when they say hello, I couldn't even say hello back. I'll just start crying. And they'll be so worried about me. And I remember they'll talk to me and, you know, tell me about God and everything. But, you know, you have to understand that sometimes if your heart is not in a place to receive, then you're not going to receive. And I did everything I wanted to do. I got to travel. I got to go to different places, did different things, just earning money in my sleep, earning money on vacation, you know, and guys, I just reached a place in my life that I had to say, Lord, I completely surrender to you. And I thought it was hard. I thought being a believer, being a Christian is hard. I don't want, it seems hard. It seems boring. It seems tense. I want to be tense. I want to have fun. You know, but you know what? My brothers and sisters, it seems that way because there are areas that's unsurrendered. It seemed that way to me because there's still things I want to do. I still want to live it up. I still got some stuff to do, you know. But I just remember a few years ago just being in a place where I could have gone left or right. And I was like, okay, I could go and disappear into the world again like I've done before. But I remember I said, Lord, I want you. I've always wanted you all these years, even though I went in my own way. Father, if you just take me and show me different. And I remember God said, I know what people have done to you. I know what they've done to you, because at this time it was church stuff again. He says, but what have I done to you? And he said, allow me to introduce myself. And my brothers and sisters, this is what I did. And this is what you need to do. You see the amount of time and energy you put into planning your next sin, the amount of time and energy you take into doing whatever you want to do, the time and energy you put into running behind somebody that's not interested in you, or the time and energy you put into what you want to do, that's what I decided to give to God. I gave God all of me, all of my heart. And what does that mean, Arlene? What does it mean to give God all of your heart? Make time, just like you do for everything else. You know, when you go into the gym and you working out, you got your routine set, you got your outfit out, you got your smoothie set, you got all this stuff. You go, you make time, and you dedicate that time. That time you take to watch that, to binge watch something. Whatever it is you do, you take time for it. And that's what I did. I made time for God. I spoke to God. I would sit on my floor and just talk to the Lord as if I'm talking to you or to a person in the room. I prayed to God. I reached out to God. I started to read the Bible. I read it from Matthew on, little at a time. I asked the Lord to come into my heart, to take everything out of me, to change me. I obeyed the Lord when he told me to pour out all my wine. He told me that. But you know what, guys? At first, that was my thing. Like, but listen, I think if I remember clearly, now, Lord, you made wine now. You made wine. But guess what? I obeyed God. I obeyed God. I took those steps, even if it was hard, poured it down the sink, not gave it to other people, poured it down. You see, there's a difference between giving away stuff and when God says, throw it away. because you really parting yourself with it now. And I did that. And I tell you, when I did that, I thought it was going to be hard. Okay, I thought it was going to be hard because I was always wetting my beak on a glass of wine or something. But when I did that in faith, just like that, my desire was gone. And when you seek God and when you're hungry for him or when you're desperate for him, he will come to you. And the Lord came to me and he gave me perfect peace. He took away all my carnal desires, all the little things that I used to do, guys, because I used to do a lot. I used to do a whole lot. Okay. Some of my testimony I share, and you'll see, just immorality. I was just a person. I didn't mess with you, but when you mess with me, I'm gonna come at you full throttle. Let's just put it like that. As a person, I was calm, and this was something I asked the Lord to help me with, because I realized before I realized I'd put my hands on you, I'd already done it. By the time my mind catch up to the fact that I got you by your throat, my mind catches up afterwards. So I have this hot fire thing with me. Like, I was very, very calm. I laugh, whatever. You keep messing with me. Then what happens? I'm ready to fight you. But what I noticed with me, my temperament was, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm trying to disable you. I'm trying to hurt you. So that was one area I'm glad that the Lord did not allow me. He kept me from really going that way, because I probably would have been in prison. If I'm honest, I probably would be in prison, because when most people think about fighting, I'm thinking about, okay, what can I get to crack your head open? What can I get to just knock you unconscious? What can I get to just disable? And what I noticed, these moments that I would have coming up, people that I connected with coming up, being, in my early 20s and stuff, or, about 20s and so, if I had kept on with that, I would have ended up killing somebody, I think, because that's how people end up killing somebody. There'll be this hot rage, you connect, and then you're going, oh, I didn't mean to do it. So I thank the Lord that, this was not allowed to happen in my life. But my brothers and sisters, he delivered me from so many things. I had a quick mouth. My disclaimer is always, I'm not going to mess with you. I ain't going to start it, but I will surely finish it with you. So the Lord just took those things from me, where I don't always have to win. I don't have to say the last word. When people are disrespectful or rude, he's giving me a peace that is like, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not reacting? How come I'm so calm? What am I saying? No matter where you are in your life, no matter what you have going on, my story may not be like yours. Yours may be worse than mine, but I'm here to tell you that we're all the same. We're all the same. My struggles, my pain was mine. So to me, it was big. The things that I've experienced, the things that you experienced. But if you endeavor in your heart to surrender everything over to the Lord, I'm here to tell you that he will come in onto you and he will turn everything around. A lot of times people get frustrated. They think the Lord has left them. God hasn't left you. You're still alive, aren't you? He hasn't left you. No matter what's going on in your life, trust God. Stop trusting yourself. Stop trusting your own agenda. Stop trusting your own abilities. It doesn't matter. It's not about your money. It's not about your connections. It's going to boil down to God. It's going to boil down to him, because everything that you're working for, all that money in the bank and all that stuff you have in the garage and all that stuff you have in that closet, my brothers and sisters, when your life ends, you can take none of it. You can take none of it with you. None of that is going with you. You have to bequeath it to somebody else. And even if you're not giving it to anybody else, you're giving it to what? You're giving it to charity. You're still giving it to somebody else. So not even you will be able to enjoy all those things. I have a peace. I have a joy. I have a fullness of joy. In his presence, there's fullness of joy. At his right hand, there are pleasures forevermore. This is a true scripture. All you have to do is surrender to the Lord. Stop trying to do everything. Commune with him. Seek him out. Seek his face. Search the scriptures. And I'm trying to tell you, by his all-powerful hand, he will turn your life completely around. And it doesn't mean that life does not happen. It does not mean that disappointments and things does not come up. But I'm here to tell you that the way you deal with it, knowing that God is with you, is so different. It's so different. I'm not going to walk away from God. I'm not going to turn away from him because he's been too good to me, y'all. He's been too good to me. He's been better than any relationship that I can ever imagine to have been in. He's closer than a brother. He's closer than a sister. He's closer than a friend. He's closer than a mother. He's closer than a father. He's more consistent than anything that I can ever try to say could replace God. Everything I've tried to use instead of him has disappointed. Everything I've tried failed. But when I turned around and I gave my life to him, I can tell you I have no regrets. Every time I think about it, I get so emotional. Because there are people who did just like me who died. There's people who did just like me that are in the ground, in an asylum, somewhere, thrown off somewhere, in a marriage, miserable. But yet, in everything that I was going through, my brothers and sisters, I always think about this. When I was in the club, getting my drink on, God knew I was called. When I was being immoral, God knew that I was called and he kept me. When I was fighting, when I was getting ready to grab something and bust somebody in the head, God knew I was called. When I'd already smacked somebody, my hand smacked them, then my mind caught up. God knew I was called. When people said that I was going to be nothing, when people decided I was nothing and tried to set me up and hurt me, God knew I was called. How did I know that I would ever be here to speak to you all? So I'm here to tell you that it's very important that no matter where people are in their life and in their walk, even if you don't understand, you better pray for them. Don't be so quick to put your mouth on people, because you never know what God's going to do in their life. Some people probably thought, I'm done with. But God came and he got me from my dark place and he saved me. Pray for those who are lost. Because that person that you see on the corner, the person that you see smoking and getting high, the person that you see that's, popping bottles and doing the most, sometimes that's God's called. That's God's chosen. It's not for you and I to be like, it's not, no. Because if people looked at me, they may have thought that too. There's people that know my past and know about me and may think, And for you, I say, hey, I don't know what to say. God called me and I'm proud and I'm happy. So you get with it. You know what I mean? God loves us. God loves you. It doesn't matter where you are. If you call out to him, he'll reach out to you. Just like he reached out to me. And he came and he got me. And when I came to the Lord, things came my way to trip me up. Sometimes there's things that come up and it looks holy and it sounds right. But God scooped me up. I'm going to say he skimmed me up out of that. And I'm happy. And I'm here being able to talk to y'all today. I'm here to tell you, if you want God's all, give him your all. Let it go. Give everything to him, because God has been taking care of me. God has been taking care of me. He's made a way out of no way. He's made a way out of no way. God has done exceedingly abundantly above more than I can ask or think. And I'm here to tell you, he can do the same for you. You have to commit to him. Sometimes you've been in relationships where that person just wouldn't commit to you. They wouldn't act right. We want that, but yet we don't act right with the Lord. We don't commit to him. Give God everything. Give God what you know how. Give him your best. Just like that old lady in the Bible. Old lady, did I just call her that? Elijah, he went to stay at this lady's house. She had a son. And she was about to make her last bit. She was in the middle of a famine. She was about to make her last bit of cake. And some cake. And she was just going to lay there and die. And some of you in that stage of just making that last bit of cake, you're on your last leg. But you know what? God came. God came into my life, and God can come into your life with your last bit, because when the prophet Elijah came to her and she made that last bit, that little bit just took them through for the year and for many more days, and it just kept giving and giving. It's the same thing with the Lord. When you give him your little bit, when you give him your shortcomings, when you give him just your tattered you, just give him that and watch what he does with you. Don't sleep on God. Don't throw yourself in. Don't throw in the towel on yourself. That's the devil trying to make you check in early with him. Let go. Let God. Commit completely. Give him everything and watch what he'll do in your life. All right, guys. Peace out.